Hey, hi, and hello. My name is Jerusalem Truth. I'm an artist, tarot reader, woo-woo lady, and hoodoo baby, and I would love to give you a very personal welcome or welcome back to this here YouTube channel, Temperance Apothecary. This is the esoteric YouTube extension of my pre-existing business, Temperance Apothecary, where I make and sell candles and body butters, soon to be available in July 2026. But if you're tapping in over here, that means you're here for these good messages. Now, I am doing the collective energy read in this reading, but if there are other messages you just feel so called, make sure you go and check those out. I also offer personal readings in general, life overview, love and romance, and career development, as well as custom creativity readings for anyone ready and just willing to develop and curate their creativity right now. All of that information is available below, or you can go to temperanceapothecary.com and work with me personally. Now, let's get into these cards, all right? We have the Empress on the bottom, so this is a week of creation. Let's show. Let's see. Ooh. All right. First things first, all right? We have the Queen of Pentacles opening up the deck. That's what I love to see, all right? This is a week where we are embodying the very nature of abundance, and it's not just financial or monetary or material as the pentacles can be, but literally wealth across meaning, right? So time wealth, where do you have more time than the average bear? Where do you have more health? Where do you have access to resources via family, chosen family, kin, that type of thing? This is the week where we are, especially with the combination of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, this is a week where we are gleefully indulging in the little things, right? I'm looking at the roses that's surrounding the Queen of Pentacles up here. It's almost like a frame. It's lending itself to the romanticization of everyday life, right? And then with the rest of the cards, we have the 10 of Wands reversed and the 7 of Wands. It might not be as stressful of a week as we think it ought to be, but that doesn't mean our mind still isn't scanning or surveilling for things that could go wrong. And I get that impression because, yeah, we get the High Priestess clarifying the 7 of Wands, but we also have the 4 of Swords reversed, the Tower reversed, and then we have the 9 of Swords right here at the top. So off rip, give it to me straight, Spirit. What's up? Off rip, it's not even as bad as you think it is, right? The worst, quote unquote, has already taken place. And with this Tower reversed, it's implying, at least to me, that this might be energy you're coming off of, especially with the Tower reversed right above the 7 of Wands and then clarified by the High Priestess. Are you really in imminent danger, or are you just so used to things going so chaotically left out of nowhere that you're anticipating it? And at the same time, how are you, 4 of Swords reversed, clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. How are you, instead of laying down and dying, not literally, but metaphysically, I meant metaphorically, but metaphysically too, where are the areas where you are so used to struggle, so used to strike, so used to being defensive that you lay down, but you're really just laying down to die. You're really just laying down because, yes, we need rest and a break, but you know the difference between when you're laying down to recover and laying down to give up. And this week is telling you this is not the time to lay down to give up. Ooh, Wheel of... All right. It's jumping all kinds of ways. Wheel of Fortune, and that's to clarify the Tower. You are waiting or have been anticipating for the other shoe to drop, and this is the week where you ain't got to do all that, beloved, myself included. I am definitely a part of this collective. I keep looking at the 7 of Wands highlighted and clarified by the High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you have to be intentional with discerning when something is discernment or when something is coming from a place of inner fear or inner scarcity, right? Or when you are coming from a place of defensiveness. sometimes we'll get these inklings, and it really do be anxiety. It really is the kind of baser parts of ourselves trying to convince us, yeah, Four of Pentacles, to hold on to what we got, because if we try to do the work, right, coming out over the Seven of Wands, we know what that feels like. We know that's heavy. We know that's exhausting. We know that you tend to struggle on your own, and insert whatever beliefs that are valid, right, because of experiences that you've had. But in this current iteration, in this week specifically, you don't have to lay down and just take it. And you don't have to recover. In fact, the part of recovery you're in is working the plan. It's working these thoughts that try to take over your mind and cloud your judgment and make you feel anxious. It's pouring that love and intention back into yourself through not self-care, just in the, okay, I'm gonna luxuriate and give myself a face mask, but in a tangible, how am I planting and working the land, working the seeds in myself, right? In ourselves. How are you doing the work in a way that is enjoyable? And how can you make the work enjoyable, right? Spirit, can you clarify this Nine of Swords reversed? What has the collective been anxious about that they really ain't even got to worry about this week? Ten of Swords reversed. You are worried about the end of Judgment. You are worried about one, judgment and perception of others, for sure. Maybe it's something that you are, death. It's something that you have initiated. King of Swords. Okay, this is very, very loud from you, Spirit. This is a transition you have initiated a while ago, back when you were the Page of Wands, back when you were just exploring the ideas of, what can I possibly build, or who am I becoming? What direction am I taking the rest of my life? Not just this year, but this month, this decade, what have you, right? Knight of Pentacles reversed. You're used to that going a little slowly. You're used to that kind of creeping up on you. Six of Cups at the bottom. That's what your mind is oriented to. But at this current moment, this transformation you've been worried about is saying, girl, it ain't even all that. Girl being gender inclusive, all right? You have death into, the King of Swords following the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords reversed, which are two excellent cards in my opinion to get reversed. You are transforming and transmuting the anxiety, the judgment, self-afflicted and otherwise, and that is transforming you, right? Like when I look at this death card, yes, they have stepped over someone and they seem to be approaching these folks over here. But this is the first time I've really noticed, one, you see that little hill, the light on the hill in the back, but also they look almost relieved that death is coming. I don't want to say relieved. They definitely look nervous. The child is the only one that's looking right up at death, and maybe that's it. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Your inner child, your inner self knows that it's time for change, and they're the ones that have been prompting you to change. They are the ones that are like, all right, this has been fun. I'm ready to go to a new playset, right? You know when a child is maybe between the ages of like 3 and 8, they can go to a park and it's no problem. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Everything is so new. But around 9, 10, 11, they're like, I've been there. I've done that before. That's for little kids, right? That's kind of what your spirit is urging you to do this week. Your spirit is urging you to pour into the areas and places. Two of Cups with the Six of Cups on the bottom. We are definitely revisiting old dynamics, older relationships, maybe even our childhood homes, familial dynamics. Knight of Pentacles reversed again. Wherever you feel inadequate or like things have been taking too long, this is the week where you are transforming your own vision. You are allowing the transformation that the Death card is bringing to finalize, to really crystallize and download, and you are no longer seeing yourself or processing life as the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, King of Pentacles on top. You recognize where, yes, you are no longer the Knight. Yes, you have moved on. Yes, this inner self, this inner child may not have anticipated you expanding beyond the night. Actually, I find that hard to believe. I believe it is your inner child who's like, hey, big dog, we could actually do some more. Yeah, we got the World jumped out, 2 of Wands, 3 of Swords reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, and the Sun. All right, Spirit, that was a lot of cards, but that feels like a wonderful, wonderful place to at least conclude this section of the week's energy, right? You're starting off with the World completion. This is a week of completed cycles for sure. We are closing up chapters from the beginning of the year, from when spring began, from last year, right? We're really untangling ourselves, and it's a much less painful process than we might have thought or presumed, especially with the 3 of Swords reversed and the 5 of Wands reversed. Followed by, actually, I got these out of order. It was the World and the 2 of Wands. We are completing a chapter, and in doing so, oops, got some peanut butter on the card. I have exactly a spoonful of peanut butter over here. Don't worry about that. Mind your business. We add the World into the 2 of Wands. We are completing a cycle that is requiring us to look ahead, plan ahead, and really envision what comes next. And we are being prompted to not envision heartache or turmoil or as I call the 3 of Swords, clarity by fire. We are not being prompted to forecast that into our futures. We are not being prompted to catastrophize, to anticipate the fights and the strifes. And what does it look like if in the future the sun is shining? What does it look like in the future if the things that your heart so desires, if the King of Swords energy that you are in right now is the one leading the pack? What if you, as the Queen of Pentacles, are the one that's orchestrating and program managing? That's very specific, but you're the one leading the charge in this 9 of Pentacles, in this self-sufficiency. You are harvesting your own garden, and you're grateful for it because you recognize what a blessing it is to have the ability to tend to your own garden, to have the wherewithal, to have the presence of mind to tend to your own garden, right? So Spirit, I kept the Queen of Pentacles card, and I probably could have kept the King of Swords, but let's tap into her, because this is, the Queen of Pentacles definitely pops out for me when there's a message. So we're gonna lean into that, and I trust that these are messages for the extended Temperance Collective as well. But Spirit, what ways can we as the collective tap into and embody this Queen of Pentacles energy this week? And where are we being asked to do so? We got 1. Can I get 2 more cards on where we are being called to embrace and embody our Queen of Pentacles energy? I'll take both. I asked for 3. 2. Y'all gave me 3. All right. 2 of Pentacles reversed on the bottom. But let's flip these over with where are we being called, or how are we being called to embody the Queen of Pentacles? We have the High Priestess and the 7 of Wands. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing the phrase, okay, you have to jump out on your own, all right? Lay it low and play it slow. This is a week where we are being prompted. All right, that one did jump out. King of Cups. Yeah, this is the week to be a cool dude, right? To not allow others to get us out of character, but also not allow ourselves, our minds, to be the ones to prompt us into unnecessary or premature action, right? The 7 of Wands clarified by the King of Cups. It's King of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. Give people what they give you and not a drop more. Ace of Wands. Ooh, is this relational? Is this, yeah, 8 of Cups. You may be prompted by old dynamics, particularly with a King of Cups type person. So think tropically, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but also sidereal air signs. So Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. I won't get into that too much, but especially with these 3 cards clarifying the 7 of Wands, how we're being called to embrace and embody our Queen of Pentacles energy is don't let nobody get you out of body. In fact, know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Know when it's time to walk away. Isn't that the whole thing? You got to know when to hold them. No, I don't know the melody at all. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk away. And this is the week where you are recognizing where reciprocity has been absent and deciding, I'm the Queen of Pentacles. I actually don't need to stay here and get breadcrumbed by who for what, you know? And then with this High Priestess, this is reminding me of just the need to trust yourself. And again, trust when discernment is lending itself to anxiety and vice versa. But the only way you can do that is by sitting with the downloads. I love this interpretation of the High Priestess because they're on their laptop. It literally gives, you know, like they're receiving information and then they're immediately processing it, uploading it, all the amazing things. So you are being asked to trust yourself first and foremost this week, and you are being asked to only give what is given to you. So if somebody try to play in your face, but they ain't doing no big reaction, I'm not saying match energy in that way. I'm saying, yeah, 7 of Pentacles with the Hanged One reversed on the bottom. Don't be nobody's fool waiting around for them to give you what you want and what you need and what you deserve. When A, you can do that and give it to yourself. But B, you could leave and I promise you another bus is coming. I still very much of the belief you miss one bus, 2 more are coming. Now, it might be 12 minutes, it might be 8 minutes, it might be 26 minutes. But they're coming, yeah. Queen of Wands with the Lovers on the bottom. When you release the situationship, that's how you get what you want. When you release the thing that doesn't actually harmonize with you, that doesn't actually gel or align with your genuine desires, you then can turn that energy, turn that desire back on yourself. You can love on yourself. You can big up yourself. And then that's how you start to attract people who match that energy, right? So rather than you matching other people's energy, you are instead 8 of Cups, walking away from this King of Cups, which seems cool on surface, right? Like, oh, who don't want them a king? You see how he laid back a little cooling, which is cool, but take that as you will. Especially with this 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles energy. Just because someone is royalty doesn't mean they move from that place. And more often than not, as my mosquito bites start itching, usually when people are royalty, they see themselves to be or have been ordained, so they'll be the most stingy nigga you ever met in your life. So this week, embody your Queen of Pentacles by recognizing, I just heard not my job by flow. It's not your job. It's not your job to convince somebody to love you, to treat you right, to pay attention to you, to be thoughtful about you. That ain't your job. So don't make it your job, okay? Be your Queen of Wands. Fly girl self, fly gal, okay? And watch how it attracts the love, the connections, the family, the kin, the opportunities that you are meant to have and encounter. And now, to close out the reading, let's just get into where we are being called to embody our Queen of Pentacles. So we have the 3 of Cups. I know that's right. 6 of Cups. And then we have, the 5 of Cups reversed and the 7 of Cups. We are being asked to show up emotionally resolute within all of our creative endeavors, within our, I didn't even want to pick this up, but it called me. Within our relationship dynamics, 3 of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles is showing up. She's coming with the wine, right? Or maybe the bottle opener. Or if her and her friends are going to the festival, she's bringing the picnic blanket, right? And it's not just because she wants to seem useful, but because she is more than willing to share the wealth and share the reward and the harvest of the work that she's put in, right? Now with this 6 of Cups, I'm curious, Spirit. Yeah, and the Fool, to clarify the 6 of Cups, we are being asked to show up as the Queen of Pentacles for our younger selves. Sit with them. What was that trend? I met my younger self for coffee this week. And here's what I learned, right? That is the energy of this week. We are reviewing the past however many weeks, right? We're almost halfway through the year, however many years, months, whatever parts of ourselves, whatever past cycles and versions are coming up or we are being met with this week, we are being asked to sit with them lovingly, give them a little sweet treat, go to get coffee, maybe go to get a few shots with your younger self. But once you are done, once you have completed that and you've shown them, hey, we're the Queen of Pentacles now. We allow ourselves the freedom of this life by being responsible for ourselves, and we let others take care of us, we let life take care of us. That is going to feel like a whole new chapter, because it is. So allow yourself to flip the page this week. That's a bar. Hold on. Get that time grab, you know? And then we have the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, right? And the 5 of Cups is reversed. This week we are recognizing, oh, this is so specific, I love it. 4 of Pentacles on the bottom. Your path to success is wide. You have more options than you have previously allowed yourself to think, especially as the Queen of Pentacles, for how to move forward, for how to, direct your path. Right? You have all of these. In the 5 of Cups, upright, they're focused on these 3, right? And they don't even recognize these 2 in the back. That's why reverse, this is beautiful energy, because you've moved past that grieving. Not wholly, right? Because we still have the 6 of Cups. So you've moved past the grieving insofar as now you're recognizing, wow, I really used to live like that. I really used to live like this, in that, like, just clutch your pearls away, but in a reflective way. And now you're recognizing how many different directions you actually have as possibilities. They have love, they have justice, they have money, they have, snake, tornado. Like, there are so many choices in what we can call in or what we can align to energetically, that you are now coming into that understanding as the Queen of Pentacles, recognizing my path to success is wide. Oh, we have the we have the 2 of Swords reversed, the Hanged One reversed, and then the 4 of Wands jumped out. That is a beautiful place to conclude this reading, right? The choice has already been made. You have already decided internally, spiritually, metaphysically, and I'm saying that on purpose, that you're ready to be this Queen of Pentacles. You're ready to get in your bag. You're ready to have the go yard. You know what I mean? And in making that decision, though, you have to commit to flipping the page. Actually closing the book altogether. Sometimes when we are writing a new chapter, it ain't enough to just close the first part of the notebook and then we move on. No. Sometimes we do got to get a whole new notebook. All right, Spirit. Actually, I think we're good on tarot cards. I want to get us an affirmation for this week. Let's do 3. What are 3 affirmations we can carry with us into this week, Spirit? Everything my heart desires is manifesting into reality. I know that's right. My vulnerability and ability to feel fearlessly are my superpowers. That's that High Priestess energy, right? And then let's shuffle one more time. I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. Let's read that again. I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. Exactly. That's that 7 of Wands into the 8 of Cups energy. Rather than you fighting or getting defensive or needing to, you actually don't have to tussle. You can say, you know what? I'm okay, Sting, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me, but I'm okay. That's one of my favorite lines. When people ask me for my number or to do this or to do that, like something I don't want to do. Thank you for thinking of me, but I'm okay, thank you. Or just, no, thank you. That was really sweet to be thought of. Just that simple, right? And then I'm feeling this one. The universe is never late and God is always on time. My destiny is revealing itself in divine timing. Y'all want one more? I'm gonna give us one more. Excellent place to end. All that I need flows to me with ease. And that's just that on that. Thank you so much for watching. If any of this resonated with you, go ahead and comment down below and subscribe, like, share, all the fun things. We've already gained a handful of subscribers in the first week of June. And so I'm excited to keep this momentum going, you feel me? And at the same time, if you'd like to work with me personally, as I mentioned, I do personal readings and general life overview, love and romance, and career and development, as well as custom creativity readings. If you'd like any of that information, it's all available downstairs. It's all available down below in the description box, as well as our Substack, TikTok, Instagram, website, all the amazing places. You can check us out at Temperance Apothecary. I will see y'all in the next video. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.